Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm David Yak here.
And I'm Susan Keller-Horn.
And you're listening to Yak About Today in Film, where you never know where the show will go. So sit back, watch us, or get up, put your headphones on, go for a run, but listen to what we yak about today. Hey, once again, thanks for listening. I'm here with Susan Keller-Horn, and we're both, I guess, a little energized, would you
Maybe
say?
A little punch drunk.
What's a few nights?
Yeah.
What's a whole year in the making for 4 days?
Hey, you know, the festival, if you're listening now live, the festival starts on Thursday with our pre-event on Wednesday night. So passes are available for pickup at the Heritage Center beginning today. David keeps saying 12 noon, which is what's on the program. I think that you're much safer showing up after 2. It's just my thoughts.
Is that because we haven't gotten our lists ready at the door yet?
I haven't handed them the lists yet, and I'm in here in the studio.
Right. I did send a text to everybody saying, maybe you should wait on the box office thing until we get there. Anyway, the box office does open today. It is at the Heritage Center on 14th Avenue, where you can get all your different passes, whether it's the Cinema Select or the Cinema VIP tickets. And also, it may be your last chance to buy a pass to our kickoff dinner, which is tomorrow, June 8th, at 6 o'clock at the Grand Harbor Beach Club. So if you're interested in kicking off the festival with us, you can get your passes at the Heritage Center now. And by the way, just to throw this in, if you're listening to this on the radio, you can still come to our closing ceremony on Sunday at the Majestic Theater. So I just wanted to throw that in because I think this show plays Saturday night. I think. Yes,
I think it does.
Right.
we really should pay attention to that, shouldn't we? But anyhow, and the Heritage Center box office will be open today until 8 p.m. It will be open on Wednesday, the 8th, from 12 noon till 8 p.m. And then during the festival, it'll open up at 8:30 a.m. and will be open till around 5 p.m. So those are the box office hours. And if you are not a computer person and you really are uncomfortable buying your tickets online, we can sell them to you at the box office. You can come to the box office to buy your passes. If you've already purchased your passes online, you bring your receipt and we will look you up and hand you the passes that you've purchased. So it's a will call situation.
You know, I think we're getting our T-shirts in today for sale.
Ooh, they're pretty.
Which will be great. They are pretty T-shirts. They're not this color. I don't know if people can actually see this.
They can see the color.
Oh, I got a mic in front of here. Do I need a mic, Jesse?
I think they might want to hear you too. So, anyhow.
All right. Let's get to our first guest. This is Alex Kanter. He's from Indian River State College, and actually he'll be joining us at the festival for a special presentation. Hey, Alex, how are you?
Hi, folks. It's a pleasure to be here. How are you?
All right. Tell us about the presentation, Alex.
Well, I'm really thrilled that this year, Indian River State College is going to be partnering with the Vero Beach Film Festival. And my colleague, Jim Jeffers, who's the Associate Professor of Graphic Design and Digital Media, along with myself, the Master Instructor of Theater and Director of Theater and Dance at Indian River State College, we're going to be offering a joint lecture/discussion on the current state of film education. Many of us know that post-secondary education has a lot of challenges going on right now and a lot of great opportunities as well. And both Jim and I involve film and film education in our work with our students. And we've had some really great experiences that we want to share, and also sort of our insights about where the industry is headed, where the educational institutions are going, and how film education looked in the past, how it looks currently, and where it might be going in the future.
Now, the event is called Making the Cut. It will be at the Heritage Center at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 11th. And it's a special event, and it's one of those special events that we thought was special enough to share with the public. So even if you don't have a pass, you are very welcome to come and see Making the Cut. Tell us give us a little hint of some of the things you're going to say in this presentation.
Sure. And first, maybe I should give a little bit of a background. So, I was a professional actor for over a decade in the world of theater. But before that, I actually worked in the film industry for Merchant Ivory Productions. And Jim Jeffers is an incredible graphic designer and digital media artist who actually does a lot with video work now. So between the two of us, you have a really good take on both the academic side of film appreciation, film viewership, film analysis, et cetera, which I teach a lot of currently, as well as how to create new works. And Jim sort of doing the more applied skill set with his digital media students who are going out into the world once they're done with IRSC and will be your next generation of film, video, and digital media producers. So it's important for us to take this moment and look at the current state of affairs. The world as we know it, I don't have to tell you all, has changed since many of us were taking our wonderfully academic film appreciation classes where we got to sit there in the dark theater, watch beautiful films by Antonioni and Francis Ford Coppola, and then sit and discuss all the ups and downs and symbolism therein. It's a different world, and there are different needs for college students right now, as well as they're surrounded by different media and stimuli. So I'm reminded, David, about one of our conversations that you mentioned where current students, they are very familiar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're very familiar with big Hollywood films and Harry Potter, but that the more independent film circuit and smaller films, we don't really get access to those, or exposure, I should say, to those for most 18 to 25-year-old consumers. And that is something that when they go out into the world and think about, well, how can I enter this industry, or how can I be a part and make art? What they're looking at is the multi-billion-dollar level productions, as opposed to the steps it takes to get there. So Jim and I are very involved in building those bridges, building those ladders. Indian River State College is all about empowering our students, meeting them where they are, and providing them incredible career opportunities to get to the future. And I think this lecture will talk a lot about that. So I hope you'll be interested in joining us, and we will finish with a Q&A, so there will be time for some interaction with our audience. And I'm delighted to be able to talk about this. It's something I'm very passionate about.
Hey, Alex, I have a question here. Arts programs all over the country have just been cut. A lot of people don't believe in where the role of art these days. People are being pushed into sort of the 2-year schools that give them access to becoming a plumber or electrician or all those other trades, which we desperately need, but they seem to be coming at the expense of arts programs. But you probably cover this in your lecture, but you have a different view of that, because you feel that there's a future in the arts programs. Is there a future of expanding the film program at IRSC or the theater program at IRSC?
Thank you, David. I agree with you. The value of trades is absolutely incredible, and I'm a firm believer that we should never be comparing the important and incredible work that trade schools do versus small private liberal arts colleges, et cetera. And I think, again, the entire world of college education in America, that entire landscape is changing, and probably in need of a change when we look at the cost benefits of a college degree with the current economy. However, While you're right that the arts have traditionally struggled or been the first on the chopping block is sort of the way to think about it, I think you'll see that in many programs such as mine and such as Jim's, the arts are actually growing due to innovation, due to the ability to what I call think outside the black box theater. And it's important to bring the art back to the people and to meet them where they are. We're in the age of Netflix and Amazon and streaming distribution. Who wants to leave their pajamas and their bedroom to go out and experience something? In order to get them, in order to bring people back to the arts, we have to make these experiences incredible, and they can't just be what they used to be. So I think we will talk about this in our lecture, but I actually see a lot of hope. Jim's digital media program is doing incredibly well at the college. My program has tripled in size since I got there 2 years ago. So while there are challenges ahead, and I don't think anyone would doubt that or would argue that, there are also some incredible opportunities if we're willing and able to innovate. And I think film, specifically in the context of theater, digital media and film is a huge part of that.
Well, thank you, Alex, for joining us. I find your lecture is going to be amazing, and I can't wait for people to see it and be there with you and answer all their questions. It's going to be, once again, it's going to be at the Heritage Center on Saturday the 11th at 10:30 a.m. And then afterwards is the student films, which we're going to walk Alex and Jim over to take a look at, because we have some incredible student films this year. But now I think we need to go to a break.
All right. Alex, we'll see you at the coffee shop.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Before we go to break, I just want to say thank you to New Vision Eye Center for sponsoring the show. They've been a sponsor for a very long time, and it's not a sponsor we would have taken unless we absolutely believed in New Vision Eye Center.
And David, I really appreciate them, because now when I ask you to look at something, you can actually see it.
Thank you. So you've noticed.
I've noticed.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tate, for the glasses. All right, we're going to go to break now.
Dr. Stephen Tate offers the safest and most efficient technique for customized cataract surgery. Patients are personally counseled on the best approach for their needs and lifestyle. From multifocal lenses that allow for distance and reading vision to toric lenses that correct astigmatism, let New Vision Eye Center guide you safely through your options. For world-class eye care on the Treasure Coast, visit newvisioneyecenter.com.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs, including lots of slipcover styles from Universal, Four Seasons, and Capri. We also have a gallery of Tommy Bahama and Lexington furniture with styles designed for a relaxed approach to the finer things in life. Right now, we're having a summer sale with lots of great markdowns, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet and closeout store directly across the street, and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day. Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
The Boom is back. Boom on the Lagoon. A day of music, fun, and fireworks. Presented by Mulligan's Beach House and Dale Sorensen Real Estate. The fun starts at 5 o'clock on the 4th of July at Riverside Park in Vero Beach, with music by Johnny and the Blaze, food trucks, and contests galore. Brought to you by the City of Vero Beach, Indian River County, A Better Solution Insurance, C.W. Willis Family Farms, and Evergreen Media. Boom on the Lagoon. The 4th of July fireworks celebration at Riverside Park in Vero Beach.
And we are back. I'm David Yakir, here with Susan Keller-Horn, and you're listening to Yak About Today in Film. So, Susan, I decided you could tell how old I am, right?
Oh, no. We're going to tell people?
It is not. We're supposed to have said vbfilmfest.org, vbfilmfest.org, where you buy your tickets, or where you can watch trailers of all the films, or you can see all the events, and you can see our calendar. And it should be the first thing we're saying, and yet we talk about the festival, but the one thing we don't say is vbfilmfest.org.
And that's the place you want to go. That's where you need to go, because you'll just go under the Film Festival tab, and there you'll find the listing of all the films, and it will give you descriptions of all the films, and you can actually divide them up by whether they're a documentary or a dramatic short. And actually, we haven't even been talking about that, the various types of films that we have. So we have feature-length films. There are documentaries, narrative feature-length films, which are fictional. We have what we call documentary shorts and dramatic shorts, and those are all like films that are about 20 minutes or less, and we love them too. We have Vero Visions, which is the category where you can see local filmmakers, because we have a whole bunch of them here in Vero. And so go online, look at all those things. Also, go to vbfilmfest.org to look at the special events that we have, because it's not just parties. We do have fabulous parties. The Parliament is on Wednesday the 8th at 6 p.m. It's at the Grand Harbor Beach Club. We have the Friday night wine tasting party. We have the Saturday night 80s dance party and the Sunday closing party. But we have, just like we had the special guest right before, Alex Kanter, with doing Making the Cut, a special presentation. We have filmmaker forums. We have all kinds of things. One of the ones I'm really looking forward to that we haven't talked about is the seminar, which will be on Sunday. It's at 12 noon. It's at the Heritage Center. It's called The Woman of Hitchcock, and it's about the woman behind Hitchcock, the stories that are not normally told. And that's with it's going to show clips. It's going to be really an amazing presentation, and that'll be at the Heritage Center at noon. So go to vbfilmfest.org, get your passes. Plan to come to our box office, which opens today. I'm telling you, don't come before 2 o'clock and until 8 o'clock, but it's Tuesday, Wednesday, 12 noon till 8 p.m. It's throughout the festival starting at 8:30 a.m.
One other thing about vbfilmfest.org is, in film festivals, a lot of things change, and it's the only way we can get out our word to you that there's been a schedule change or a movie change or something's changed, which happens often. So check vbfilmfest.org.
And now I think we do need to invite Steve to join us.
I think it's about time.
It's about time. So welcome, Steve. Steve Stein. His film is Lives on the Line, and I think it's a wonderful short. And I Steve, you know what? I think you should just tell everybody about it rather than me trying to give you a little bit beforehand.
Yeah. First, I just want to say thank you both so much for having me today. It's a real honor to be here. So Lives on the Line is actually a story about a broken system. And we tell that story through the lens of several different veterans, one of which his name is Kyle. And he is an Afghanistan war veteran who has suffered from chronic pain. And that pain was brought on. He was actually a gunner in helicopters. And so the vibrations had caused some issues in his spine. And as time goes on, that turns into a chronic pain issue that often the VA tries to say may not actually be something covered anymore, because it starts as one issue and then slowly becomes something else. And so the story follows him and his as he tries to address the chronic pain, and he falls victim to the VA's system, where there are some issues in how they're taking people in, as well as how quickly people are seen. At the same time, he meets a employee at the VA who she has a bit of a disillusioned view at first, and ultimately is trying to understand how she can better help him. And this story is actually inspired by real events. Many veterans in our country feel that their benefits are being dangled in front of them. And so when they are faced with issues, they're often just silent about it, because they are concerned that if they speak up, they're going to risk having their benefits taken away from them. So when we first set out to tell this story, I was actually looking into doing a story that was more of a commentary on homelessness in the veteran community. But as I started to do interviews with the veterans of the Afghanistan war, they really were showing me that their concern wasn't about whether they're going to end up homeless like the Vietnam era. They were worried more about is how are they going to get their treatment? Is the VA going to fulfill the promise that they were given when they entered the military? And so at that exact moment that we were conducting that research, there was a VA Inspector General report that came out, and this was in August of 2019. And that report detailed just exactly how veterans were having the system be gamed against them, where there were appointments being falsely created, people being pushed into situations where they were sent to an ER, but then the ER didn't know how to classify the pain that they're having or the symptoms as being part of what was initially reported when they got out. And so they would ultimately have their claims denied. And so this story is meant to bring to light what was happening and hopefully create a public conversation around it.
You know, I have a friend who is a Korean War veteran who hurt his ankles in Korea and has suffered all these years. And as he's gotten older and older, it's migrated throughout his legs and all that. And he struggled with 4 VA hospitals before he was starting to get proper treatment. Do you see hope in the system?
You know, it's hard to say. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to help and who are trying to do the right thing. And, you know, depending on where you go, you may have a different result. But the problem is we constantly are just seeing Band-Aids put on the system. You know, we talk about in this film, there was a program called the White House VA Hotline that was created as a solution for people to report the issues that they're facing. But the problem is from what I've seen, there isn't much work being done to address it on the front end. You know, it's let's put a Band-Aid here, let's put a Band-Aid there, rather than look at what is the true cause of this issue. Perhaps it's part of the problem could be that we are seeing it addressed as a for-profit industry when, you know, maybe with this being a socialized healthcare program, maybe there should be a different approach and see how that can address it. Obviously, I'm not an expert in the medical field, but it seems like there's definitely more work that can be done.
Well, it seems based on what I saw in your film, it doesn't just affect the people who are being treated, the patients. It's also affecting the people who work at the VA. You can see they're struggling with an inept system as well. So I think it's amazing that you brought this out in your film. To me, it's important that you're getting the information out because most of us, unless we are part of a military family or have someone who's needing VA help, we don't realize what is actually going on. So thank you for sharing this.
Absolutely. It's been a real pleasure to work on this film and tell this story. You know, that's the exact reason that we approached it, is because it is something that people don't talk about. It is something that you know, we constantly go to sporting events and we go to you know, various things that we see on TV that are constantly honoring our veterans. And it's a moment to say thank you for your service, but true support doesn't stop at saying thank you. It's also, let's listen to the issues our veterans are facing and see what we can come up with to actually help them. You know, look beyond the here's the end issue, but what's causing it? How can we address it sooner than it be coming to the point that someone is getting hurt? You know, because part of these problems is people become desperate. You know, if someone gets a bill for $15,000 a year later, that's something unexpected that can become a huge issue. And the issues in that VA Inspector General report, it actually detailed how this was even being attributed to preventable deaths via suicide. So,
hey, Steve, we have to say thank you because we're also a radio show that has a very specific end, whereas the podcast doesn't. So really, thank you so much. And are you coming to the festival?
I am. I will be there on Saturday.
can't wait to meet you in person, so I don't feel bad about cutting you off.
Likewise.
Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll see you in a few days. Take care.
All right, don't
Sounds
forget
great.
about vbfilmfest.org. The festival starts showing movies on June 9th, 2022. So we're really excited about it. Everybody take care. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Thank you.